Yeah, this is MrLboyd. I'm a commercial portrait photographer from New York, currently based in Andalusia, Spain. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to go over how I personally shoot and edit dark skin. Okay. The first thing that I'm going to want to do is immediately dehaze the image to reveal the subject's true skin tone. That's about right. Okay. Clarity, as always, not too high. Somewhere below 10 for clarity. Okay. I'm not going to adjust any color yet. I'm going to go to the black slider here and actually bring down until you start seeing it start to clip. So you know you're kind of doing it right. How I'm doing this is I'm holding Alt and I'm moving the slider itself, and it actually shows you what's clipping, etc. You definitely don't want too much clipping. Okay, that should be about right. We're going to go ahead and bring down the haze. Okay, and the same thing with white, but obviously my sky here is blown out purposely. All right, because obviously skies are blue on this planet. Let's not adjust that. All right. For my shadows, I'm bringing up my shadows, not too crazily. Bring down some of the highlights itself, but not too crazily also. Within reason. I definitely do not like altering images to the point where it doesn't look like the person any longer. It just doesn't make any sense to me. All right. Contrast. I love contrast in images. Okay. Well, I think the exposure is okay. Instagram says it's a little high, but that's obvious because, you know, about a quarter of the image or 15% of the image, let's say, is blown out skies. We can do this. All right. Tone curves. I'll test medium contrast. I like it. Never sharpen in here, please. All right. Dark skin. Normally, it's most of the tones are found in orange. As you see, most of them are found in orange. So I tend to go up just a little bit, just to add some saturation to her skin. Okay. Bring down the reds. Also, dark skin tones can be found in reds, but not as much as orange. Let's bring down that red. I do not like red cast on skin. It just doesn't feel real, even though it kind of is, I guess. Bringing up the yellows because her hair is blonde here. And her glasses. I think this color is found in teal, if I think. Yeah, it's teal. Okay. Okay, that's fine. The blues are in the back. I don't like that cast of blues, so we're going to drop that a lot. Green, trees. That's fine with me there. An interesting thing, whenever you blow out skies, if you do want to kind of bring them back, play in the blue slider on luminance. Bring it all the way down. Or actually, no, never bring it all the way down because it creates like a weird halo effect around the edges of things. So if you do play in your blue luminance slider, don't bring it down too low. Just kind of pay attention to that outline. Lens correction is something I should have done first, honestly, but it's fine. Nothing is damaged. And that's all I do in Camera Raw. This is it. Let me double check something because there's some shadows here. It's a deep shadow. Let's do this. Yeah. Fit the screen. I think that's a bit much. Let's bring down some haze. Okay. I think the white balance is fine. Let me check what they want me to do. Not much of a difference, so it was pretty close. Generally, I don't like warm images, but on dark skin, warm images work. If that makes sense. Okay. Open. Let's go. Okay, good. Now the first thing I'm doing is I'm looking for blemishes. That's the first thing I do. Sometimes what I do is I open up a brand new layer and I draw circles. Like bracket keys to adjust the size. So like all of this needs to go. Also, when shooting dark skin, I personally like adding like Vaseline to the skin tone for the purpose of. Wait, come on, what's happening here? Okay, so for the purpose of making it shine, dark skin looks great shining. It catches highlights. Looks like a stretch mark of sorts here. Okay. Here, here, here. And this is the best way that I've learned, I'd say, because you can see it, but then once you're actually removing spots on the skin, you kind of forget it. You may miss something. Okay. So all of this needs to be removed. Now the next thing I do is I hide that layer, open up a brand new layer, and I start on the spot healing tool. And these spots will tell me where basically to start. Here I may leave for the purpose of not worrying about it too much in this part. Once we get into the frequency separation part of it, then that should go right away. I'm going to do a different technique than I did on the last video I posted. Let's see. Also, do not remove anything that defines the person. Okay. All right. Specifically like moles or birthmarks or anything. Except for obviously like blemishes. Here, here, here. Okay. Okay, let's get to your face. Let me verify that I paid attention. No, I didn't. I missed something. See, this is what I was saying. It's better to just do it before you, like, do this layer here before you start removing pieces from their body. Verify. Yeah, that's staying. That's gone. That's gone. Here. Okay. Now let's get to the face. Generally the face I don't really miss much, so I don't really pay much attention on this part to the guide layer. Okay. I think that's fine. She has great skin. Let's go here. All right. Now, the next thing I do is I'm going to go ahead and delete this layer here. I don't need it any longer. I'm pressing Control-Shift-E. Just merge that down. and just do some light cleanup. Okay. Frequency separation. Start that process. If you guys need this action, just let me know. I'll post it for you, or I'll create a tutorial on how to actually create your own. Okay. Go to the skin layer here. Now this way that I'm going to show you, I'll show you two ways. Do this here, creating a brand new layer within here. Hide your texture layer. I'm using the mixer brush. You'll have to search for it if you don't have it open already. Follow these settings here. Pause it if you need to. All right. Now what this is doing, or what this is going to do, I'm basically going to repaint the skin in areas to even out skin tone. So like, let's say she has a dimple here. I'm going to paint up and down, basically bring the tone, her skin tone, into places where they're not present. Also paying attention to the light differences. Obviously you wouldn't want to paint from here to here because now you're creating unnatural light. Okay. Okay, that's that. This is also how you mainly get rid of stretch marks on someone. The easiest way. Frequency separate the layers into two, and then do this painting process of repainting the skin. This can also be done to remove wrinkles from clothes. I've done it with. There's so many applications for frequency separation and the mixer brush. It's crazy. Also, if you're photographing something like and you see the ground present, you can easily fix like cracks in the ground with this also. Okay. All right, let's verify. Let's see, then you can always obviously do too much, which I did. So what I would do is here, I would continue doing too much, honestly. Just get it even. Use a smaller brush, don't do it as big. I'm trying to do this quick. Okay. Because I generally spend about 45 minutes to an hour just doing the mixer brush. Okay. And just keep going up her body, or his body, whatever your subject is. You can also use frequency separation and the mixer brush for product photography and food photography, also to make things look unnaturally uniform, you know. Right. Okay. I'm going to literally show you two ways that I smooth skin. Okay. Also, you can do frequency separation and the mixer brush to remove acne. Okay. Okay. Let's bring this back. So this look here is one way. I'd say it looks moderately natural-ish. Now, when I was saying to overdo it, you want to adjust the opacity to the point where it blends in. And this is a way you can do it that looks extremely natural. It just looks, she looks a lot better now. This is before. Let's go to here. This is before. This is after. Okay. So this is one way to do it. Another way is to use Imagenomics portraiture, which is much easier, honestly. If you have this, you should be using it. Okay. I'm just going for the areas that fit her main skin tone. Okay. Select with the eyedropper tool and then just hit OK. Okay. And now this is how I generally will deliver an image with Imagenomics. Okay. It's smooth, but it did not really remove this, which is fine. I'm not really stressing that. Okay. And now she's clean all the way around her body. All right. Now, the one thing you have to really pay attention to is her hair. The hair when you use Imagenomics, all right? So what I'm going to do now is come here, and I'm going to just merge down everything personally. No, I'm sorry. I'm going to hit Alt and then open up the layer mask. All right? Black hides, white shows. Okay, so right now everything is hidden. Let's hit Control I. That will invert the layer mask to all white. So now everything is showing, okay? The most important thing now is to get your paintbrush, paint in black, okay, and paint her hair black. This will remove all of the effects from frequency separation on her hair, and it'll still be sharp without that weird look that Imagenomic portraiture gives hair. Okay. Now I'm just gonna merge. No. Open up a new layer. Hit Shift and Backspace. 50% gray layer. Sorry. Hit Overlay. Okay. And now we're going to dodge and burn some parts of the image, specifically the areas where they're obviously lit. You see the reflections of light, the highlights. Cheekbones, nose. Right. Now the same thing for the burning aspect. We're going to go for the shadows specifically. Underneath the cheekbone. Okay. Zoom in. We're going to burn the eyebrows here. Okay. Okay. Also, we're going to dodge the center of her lips. Also, this part of the eyebrow can be dodged. The inside of the eyes can be dodged. There's light here. Good. All right, now I'm actually going to merge down, okay? Control Shift E. Okay. And now I'm going to use my sharpening preset that I have created here. Another way to do it is to literally go to filter and make sure you guys download Nick Collection. Raw pre-sharpening, that's what you should use. But I am hard-headed and I do things my way. So. Okay. Now she is honestly too sharp. So I'm going to go down on the opacity of the layer that was created with my sharpening layer. And now as she's properly sharpened, at 100% the image looks great. For a 100% zoom, it looks really good. There's not much noise, or there's some noise, but that's irrelevant at this distance. Okay, I'm satisfied. This is how I personally would edit and shoot a dark skin subject.